सीढ़ियां उन्हें मुबारक हो जिन्हें छत तक जाना है। सीढ़ियां उन्हें मुबारक हो जिन्हें छत तक जाना है। अपनी मंजिल तो आसमान है, रास्ता हमें खुद बनाना है। नमस्कार।
जय जगन्नाथ।
Good morning. I am Priyadashini Majhi, B.ed second year pupil teacher, and I am
Devranchan Rai of B.ed second year pupil teacher. We cordially invite you to this national seminar organized by Department of Teacher Education.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we know, Oracle is the award of scenic beauty and it is the soil of tribal inhabitants who are very simple, honest, who are meant for their hospitality, honesty, rich culture and heritage, historical background and whatnot.
So keeping in view of the tribal people of this undivided Koraput district and perhaps the first national seminar of the department after upgradation of this autonomous college as state university. On this occasion, on behalf of Teacher Education Department, we welcome you all to this conference hall.
Now, it is the time to invite our guests. So, it is my great pleasure to introduce a towering personality, prolific writer, dedicated teacher, good organizer, and many more. He is none other than the chief guest of the session, our Honorable OES-I Vice Chancellor, Professor Dept Mishra sir. Please give a big round of applause. Sir is the first OES-I Vice Chancellor of our university. The government of Odisha has entrusted Sir to lead the newly upgraded Vikram University at thriving pockets of Odisha. Under his charismatic leadership and active mentorship, our university is providing the significance of the proverbs, well begun is half done, or morning shows the day. Prior to this, our Vice Chancellor Sir was the professor and head of business management in Dept University, Maharashtra, and was also the professor in Gorakhpur University, Barakhpur. Besides, he successfully undertook the responsibilities of Chairman, PG Council, Director, DDCC, Director, IQAC, Director, College of Development Council, and Member Syndicate of FM University, respectively. Professor Mishra sir has lot of contribution in the field of teaching, research, and writings. He has produced 27 PhD scholars, 1 Dept, 22 MPhil, and also published 12 books, 125 research papers, and 3 patents. Besides, he presented above 100 papers in national and international seminar conferences. Sir has visited many foreign countries, namely Vietnam, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Laos. Actually, sir, we are so privileged to have you as a Vice Chancellor of our university, and we welcome you, sir, to this national seminar as our guardian and chief guest of this inaugural session. Welcome, sir.
I am honored to introduce a man of few words, a silent worker, inspirational personality, student-friendly teacher, a prominent figure in the field of physical science, particularly in chemistry, and above all, a good administrator. He is none other than Professor Ranjan Kumar Pradhan sir, our beloved registrar sir. Sir has lot of contribution for holistic prosperity of the erstwhile Vikram Dev Autonomous College, what is now Vikram Dev University. Sir was the head of the Department of Chemistry, Vikram Dev University. Now, he is in dual charge as controller of examination and registrar of our Vikram Dev University. He is a hardworking and industrious person. Prior to this, he has also worked as lecturer in AMCS College, Tikavali, Government College, Fulbani, Vikram Dev University, Jaipur. Sir, it is my great privilege to invite you as a guest of honor on behalf of Department of Teacher Education.
Welcome, sir. Now, truly I am excited and feel proud to introduce the teacher of our HOD. I mean, our teacher's teacher, a senior professor, a forefront researcher of India in the field of qualitative research, an amicable personality, a good mentor and guide, and above all, a student-friendly teacher. He is none other than the keynote speaker of this August session, our beloved Guru's Guru, Professor Pradhan sir. Dr. Nityananda Pradhan sir is a senior professor of education, Regional Institute of Education, Bhubaneswar, Odisha. Prior to this, he served as head of Department of Education, Northeast Regional Institute of Education, NCRT, Shillong, Meghalaya. Principal, Regional Institute of Education, Chamla Hills, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. Professor and head of Department of Extension Education, Northeast Regional Institute of Education, NCRT, Shillong, Meghalaya. Reader and head of Department of Education, Ravenshaw University, Cuttack. Deputy Director of Planning, State Institute of Educational Management and Training, Odisha Primary Education Program Authority, Bhubaneswar. Reader and head, Postgraduate Department of Education, Government College, Gorakhpur, Government of Odisha. Teacher Educator, District Institute of Education and Training, Fulbani, Tikavali, Odisha. And Assistant Teacher under Government of Odisha, B.ed High School and Government High School, Balindra. Really, I am inspired to listen the journey of our teacher, Professor Pradhan sir, from assistant teacher to senior professor in NCRT. We must learn from won anything. In the field of research, Sir has completed 28 research projects funded by state, national and international agencies. As many as 17 scholars have been awarded PhD degree in education, 15 scholars have been awarded MPhil degree in education and tribal studies under his supervision. Editor of dozens of national and international journals and contributed many books for the readers. Dr. Pradhan, sir, has visited South Korea, Bangkok and many more countries. Indeed, I have no words to say about the achievements of sir. I welcome you, sir, to this seminar as keynote speaker. Welcome, sir.
Now I am going to introduce a pleasant personality, very active administrator, good teacher, man of sweet and soft words, loving personality. He is none other than our dedicated teacher, Dr. Kichap Chandra Jana sir, who is the convener of the National Seminar and Chairman PG Council, Vikram University, Jaipur, Parab. Dr. Jana sir is the first CPGC of our university. He is a great researcher in the field of zoology, a dedicated teacher. Even having the responsibility of CPGC, he never misses to teach the students of his department. Prior to this, he worked around 2.5 decades in a lead college named Government Autonomous College, Rourkela. I am happy to declare with proud that Professor Jana sir has been awarded prestigious D.ed Award for Welfare Service by University of Central America on the recommendation of S. Ramakrishna Welfare Association of Mumbai. Really, we are privileged, sir, to invite you as our guest of honor. Welcome, sir.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have nothing to say about the person whose works speak alone. The man behind this seminar, a renowned columnist, a good writer, an influential orator, a man of principle, and above all, a good teacher. He is none other than my and our respected HOD, Dr. Manoranjan Pradhan. Now, Dr. Pradhan sir is working as assistant professor in education studies and also have the responsibility of HOD in education and teacher education department. Prior to that, Dr. Pradhan sir has also worked as lecturer in education in Government Women's College, Jaipur, Government College, Bolangir, teacher educator in Diet, Jaipur, PGD in education in SPM, Nalco, Damanjori, and lecturer in Biju Patnaik Degree College, Kundra. Sir has awarded as the STEM NSS Award, Best Program Officer of NSS at District and Gorakhpur University level. Sir has published around 40 research papers and chapters in edited books in different journals and books. On this occasion, I welcome you, sir, as an organizing secretary of this seminar. Welcome, sir.
Now we invite our OES-I sir, the first VC of this university, along with other guests on the dais, to start the national seminar praying the Almighty Lord Jagannath by lighting the lamp and offering the flower.
दीप्ताय गुरुर्ज्योति नमोस्तुते।
Thank you, sirs. Now all are requested to please have your respected seats.
संगीतर मूर्छनारे मन हुए आह्लादित हृदय हुए पुलकित संगीत आम भितर सृष्टि करे असीम शांति अपूर्व अनुभूति और प्रेरणा संगीत आम संस्कृतिर प्रतीक तेरे आसंतु सुनिबा आम गुरु छात्र छात्री मानक कंठरु एक सुंदर प्रारंभिक संगीत Please give a huge round of applause for them.
पूजन करे आज हम देव की रहे आज स्वागतम 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 आज हम करते हैं तुमको अर्पित सुमन आज हम स्वागतम 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 स्वागतम
Thank you, dear pupil teachers, for this beautiful welcome song. Now it's my pleasure to invite the first CPGC of Vikram University. As we know, he is the convener of the seminar, so we request on behalf of this teacher education department to present his welcome address. Please.
Good morning to all. Revered Vice Chancellor of Vikram University, Honorable Professor Dr. Dept Mr. Patron and prime mover of this highly patriotic program, and my Honorable Vice Chancellor, first Vice Chancellor of the Vikram University, who is the model architecture of this university. Registered Professor Ranjan Kumar Pradhan sir, Most Honorable Professor Nityananda Pradhan sir, Regional Institute of Education, Bhubaneswar, and the keynote speaker, Professor Divakar Sarangi, Professor Dr. Amulya Acharya, Dr. Latika Mishra, IGNOU Karalkot, Professor Devendra Sethi, Principal College of Teacher Education, Karalkot, HOD of Education Department of Vikram University, Dr. Manojendra Pradhan, eminent professors, erudite participants, enlightened scholars, journalists from print and electronic media, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. I, on behalf of the university in general, and on behalf of the Department of Education in particular, wholeheartedly welcome you all to this magnificent event of learning and research, academic interaction and philosophical debate, individual transcendence and social enlightenment. This seminar is nothing but a celebration of knowledge. We all will receive new information from the eminent scholars who have created this program. With a positive vibe, we shall apply our intellect into the new knowledge that we shall gather, and at the end synthesize knowledge and intellect into wisdom, so as to elevate our students, our society, and simultaneously ourselves to a higher degree of humanity in its physical and spiritual manifestation. Education teaches us to synthesize materialism and spirituality. Education provides us the ability to lead a decent life and let us realize the goal of life and the life after our death. Utility of education is not just confined to the individual only, it has social value and universal application. Hence, let us be microscopic in our perception and macroscopic in our worldview, and there lies the ultimate wisdom. Again, I welcome you all to this great event. I am sure you will all reap the benefit of this seminar, and at the end of the festival, you will feel yourself more enlightenment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, with great honor, I would like to request Dr. Manoranjan Pradhan, sir, Head of our Department of Teacher Education, Vikram, to detail the seminar. Sir, please.
Jai Jagannath. Honorable OES-I Vice Chancellor Sir, esteemed the keynote speaker of the day, my teacher, Professor Pradhan Sir, respected Registrar Sri Ranjan Kumar Pradhan Sir, esteemed CPGC Dr. K.C. Jena Sir, and other intellectuals, educationists, experts from different corners of my state and also the country, and my students. Really, I am very fortunate being the head of the Department of Teacher Education in order to organize the national seminar. Of course, this is my first attempt to organize such a seminar independently. At the outset, before speaking about the seminar, I am thankful to my students particularly who worked around the clock to make this program mostly successful. Dear sirs and madams, our Vice Chancellor Sir always focusing to develop the undivided Koraput district, which is completely the tribal dominated districts of Odisha. In comparison to other districts and also the national norm, the socio-economic condition and educational status of our undivided Koraput is not developed at par with the national and state norms. That's why from day one, our Vice Chancellor Sir is focusing to do something for this particular soil, particularly the tribals, particularly the people of the Koraput district. That's why this seminar is dedicated for the tribal people only. Tribal people only. I expect through this seminar we will get the good suggestions from the experts that can pave the way for development of the tribal peoples of my undivided Koraput district. And I want to say something about this seminar. You know, around 47 papers. Actually, this is unbelievable. 47 papers were accepted, and almost all paper presented are here. And the guests to whom I requested, almost all guests are also here. And the seminar is of 2 days, and the seminar consists of the 6 your sessions, inaugural, 2 ceremonial sessions, one is inaugural and another is valedictory. Besides that, there are 3+1 sessions. One technical session will be started after inaugural, and the 2 parallel sessions will be started after lunch break. Then there is your very good performance cultural event that is called Naivedya. The students have prepared very good cultural functions you can enjoy. And next day, there is also one technical session blended or hybrid mode. Professor Sinha from NCRT Delhi will deliver her speech. Besides, there are 12 papers also, and if necessary, we will arrange also another parallel session. And after that, we will have the lunch, and after lunch, the 2-day seminar will be winded off. This is brief about our seminar, and I hope my students particularly will learn many things from this seminar. Why the attractive speech of my teachers, the renowned professors of my country, renowned your researchers, experts of across the country. Hope Lord Jagannath will bless us to make this program significant and also magnificent. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now it's my pleasure to invite the guest of honor, the Registrar of Vikram Dev University, Sri Ranjan Kumar Pradhan sir, to address the seminar. Please, sir.
Esteemed President of the meeting and our Vice Chancellor, Professor Devi Prasad Mishra sir, our Chairperson PG Council, Professor Kechav Chandra Jana sir, the chief guest of the occasion, the keynote speaker of the occasion, and the main attraction of the seminar, Professor Nityananda Pradhan sir, Latika madam, other erudite scholars, student friends, and other invited guests, journalists, and other participants who are present over. I am thankful to Mr. Pradhan, head of the Department of Teacher Education, who has initiated the seminar in the topic of education of scheduled tribe children. The scheduled tribe, as we all think of, educating scheduled tribe means it is a difficult task. It is a difficult task for us, not for them. Educated, they are informed. We should not say that tribes are not educated, because they have the knowledge which is known as a traditional knowledge. They are more equipped with the knowledge by which they live their life. But the thing is that our education and their education is parallelly different. We want to integrate the system. That is the problem. Not that we should not think that someone is not educated. If someone is not educated, how he lives his life? How he or she lives his life? So, the theme of traditional education, traditional system of knowledge, comes from tribes only. You have, for example, I can say the development of medicine science, chemistry, pharmaceutical science. Every pharmaceutical compound, the very active ingredient of every medicine is a traditional knowledge. It is a knowledge drawn from tribes, it is a knowledge drawn from animals, it is a knowledge drawn from traditional knowledge. अर्थ कौन मु कहबाक चाहूँगी, मने करंतु आपण पैरासिटामोल टा ज्वर कमेइबा पई यूज होछि. Where from that knowledge came? ପାରାସିଟାମଲ ବଡିର ଟେମ୍ପରେଚର କମେଇବ, ଏ ନଲେଜ ଏଇ ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ ଆମକୁ କୋଉଠୁ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରିକି ବାହାରିନି। ଆପଣ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ, ଗୁଗଲ ସର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରନ୍ତୁ, ଏଇଭଳିଆ ଯେଉଁ ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ ଗୁଡ଼ାକ କୋଉଠୁ ଆସିବ। ଏଇଟା ଆମ ଟ୍ରାଡିସନ ଆମକୁ ଦେଇଛି। ଆମ ଟ୍ରାଡିସନ କ'ଣ? ଗୋଟେ ଟ୍ରାଇବ ଟ୍ରାଡିସନ ଆମର। ସେଇ ଟ୍ରାଡିସନରୁ ଆମେ ନଲେଜ ପାଇଲେ। ତାର ଅର୍ଥ ସେଇ ଟ୍ରାଡିସନ ଆମକୁ, ସେ ଟ୍ରାଡିସନଟା ଏଜୁକେଟେଡ ଟ୍ରାଡିସନ, ଗୋଟେ ଟ୍ରାଡିସନ ଗୁଡ଼ାଏ ଦିନ ଧରିକିରି ଦେଇଛି। ତାପରେ ଆମେ କ'ଣ କଲେ, ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ଫଳଟାକୁ ଖାଇକି କିଛି ଲୋକ ଭଲ ହେଉଥିଲେ, ସେ ଫଳରେ କ'ଣ ଆକ୍ଟିଭ ଇନଗ୍ରେଡିଏଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି ଆମେ ଖୋଜିଲେ। ଆମେ ଜାଣିଲେ ଯେ ପାରାସିଟାମଲ ଇଜ ଦ ଆକ୍ଟିଭ ଇନଗ୍ରେଡିଏଣ୍ଟ। ଆମେ କ'ଣ କଲେ, ତାକୁ ଆଇସୋଲେଟ୍ କଲେ। ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆମେ ସିନ୍ଥେଟିକ୍ ପାରାସିଟାମଲ ଖାଉଛେ, ଯେଉଁଟା ଗୋଟେ ଫ୍ରୁଟରେ ଥିଲା କି ଚେରରେ ଥିଲା କି କାଣ୍ଡରେ ଥିଲା, ସେ ଆମେ ଖାଉଥିଲେ। ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆମେ ଫ୍ରୁଟରୁ ସେଇ ପାରାସିଟାମଲକୁ ଏକ୍ସଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ କରିକି ଖାଉଛେ, ନହେଲେ ଆମେ ସିନ୍ଥେଟିକ୍ ପାରାସିଟାମଲ ଲ୍ୟାବୋରେଟୋରୀ ସିନ୍ଥେସାଇଜ୍ କରିକି ଖାଉଛେ। ସୋ ଦ ନଲେଜ ଇଜ ଦେୟାର। ଏଇଭଳିଆ ନଲେଜ ଆମ ହ୍ୟୁମାନିଟିକୁ ଏଇ ପୃଥିବୀ ପୃଷ୍ଠରେ ରଖିଛି। ସୋ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ଏ ବ୍ରିଜିଂ। ଆପଣ ଏଇ 2 ଦିନର ସେମିନାର ବୋଧହୁଏ ଗୋଟେ ବ୍ରିଜ ତିଆରି କରିବ, ହାଉ ଟୁ ବ୍ରିଜ ଦ ନଲେଜ ଗ୍ୟାପ୍ ବିଟୱିନ୍ ଦ tribal student and our so called this modern student. So tribal student ପାଖରେ जो knowledge ଅଛି, ତା ପାଇଁ ट्राइब टीचर दरकार होची, जोटा कि हमर गवर्नमेंट वर्तमान ए जो कम्युनिकेशन गप को ब्रिज करिया ପାଇଁ चेष्टा करचंदी। आउ हमें ए जो डिफिकल्टी को मैनेज करि परिबा केतेबेले गोटे इंटीग्रल सिस्टम। इंटीग्रल सिस्टम अर्थ ट्राइब को भलरे बुझुवा एजुकेटर रहिबार अछि, एजुकेशन को भलरे बुझुवा ट्राइब रहिबार अछि। ता सहित आउ गोटे सबुठ इम्पोर्टाट होची पाठ पढ़ारे, पाठ पढ़ेଇବା पढ़िबा भितरे सबुठ इम्पोर्टाट होला मोटिवेशन। हमर मोटिवेशन न रहिले पाठ पढ़ा हो। इफ द लर्नर इज नॉट मोटिवेटेड, यू कैन नॉट टीच। मोर गोटे एक्सपीरियंस मु कहूची, आमर जने मोर जने कलीग थांती बलांगीर कॉलेज, पिला को किसी पढ़ौले सीरियस केमिस्ट्री, गोटे पिला ठिया कला नाई बुझे सार, ये कौन बुझे काଣା कहूचे नाई बुझे। भीतर गंडगोल है, ସେଇଟାକୁ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ ଇଣ୍ଟରଫିୟର କରିକି ସେଟେଲ କଲେ। ସେଇଠୁ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ ଯିଏ ସେଟେଲ କରିଥିଲେ ସିଏ ଆସିଥିଲେ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ କଲେଜ ଫୁଲବାଣୀ, ଆମର ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ। ସିଏ ସେ ଇନସିଡେଣ୍ଟଟା ମୋତେ କହିଲେ। ମୁଁ କହିଲି ସାର୍ ସେଠି ଟିଚରର ଭୁଲ ନାହିଁ କିଛି, ସେଠି ଭୁଲ ଥିଲା ମୋଟିଭେସନର ଅଭାବ। ସେ ଠିଆ ହେଇକି କହିଲା ମୁଁ ବୁଝିନି, ବୁଝେଇବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କଲା ପରେ ବି ସିଏ ଆଉ ନାଇଁ ବୁଝେ ବୋଲି କହିଲା। ସେଠି ମୋଟିଭେସନର ଅଭାବ ଥିଲା। ସିଏ ଯଦି ସାର୍ଙ୍କୁ କହିଥାନ୍ତା ସାର୍ ମୁଁ ଏବେ ବି ବୁଝିପାରିଲିନି, ମୋତେ ଟିକେ ସ୍ପେଶାଲ ଟାଇମ୍ ଦେଇକି ବୁଝେଇବି, ସାର୍ କୋଉଠି ବୁଝେଇ ପାରିଥାନ୍ତେ। ସେଠି ଗଣ୍ଡଗୋଳ କରିବାର କିଛି ଦରକାର ନଥିଲା। ସୋ ଏଇଠି ହେଉଛି ମୋଟିଭେସନର ଅଭାବ। ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ମଡର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଏଜୁକେସନ ପ୍ରତି ଟ୍ରାଇବ୍ ମାନଙ୍କର ମୋଟିଭେସନ କମ୍ ଅଛି। କ'ଣ ପାଇଁ? ଏଇଟା ତାଙ୍କ ଲାଇଫ୍ ପାଇଁ କେତେ ଦୂର ଯଥାର୍ଥ ସେମାନେ ଭାବି ପାରୁନାହାନ୍ତି। ଆମକୁ ଏଇଠି କ'ଣ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ? ପ୍ରଥମ ଦାୟିତ୍ୱ ହେଉଛି ଆମର ସେଇ ଭିତରେ ମୋଟିଭେସନ କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ। ଦେନ୍ ଦ ଗ୍ୟାପ୍ ୱିଲ୍ ବି ଫିଟ୍। ସୋ ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ 2 ଦିନ ଆପଣମାନେ ଏଇ ସବୁ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟକ୍ରମ କରିବେ, ଆଉ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଡିସ୍କସ୍ ହେବ। କିନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ ଏଜ୍ ଏ ଆଉଟସାଇଡର, without going to the brief insight to your subject system, ମୋର ଇନଫର୍ମେସନରେ ଯାହା ଥିଲା, ଯାହା ମୁଁ ଭାବିଲି ମୋର ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସରେ 3 ଦିନର, ମୁଁ ତାକୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଉପସ୍ଥାପିତ କରି ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଛି ଏଇ କନଭରସେସନ୍ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ 2 ଦିନର ଡିସ୍କସ୍ ବହୁତ ଫ୍ରୁଟଫୁଲ୍ ହେବ। ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ।
Thank you so much, sir. Truly, you are already motivating us, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable words. Now, it is my pleasure to invite the OES-I come the first Vice Chancellor of Vikram University and Chief Guest of this seminar, Professor Vikram, Mr. Sir, to grace the topic.
Thank you. Good morning to all. Respected Chairperson, PG Council, Dr. K.C. Jana, respected keynote speaker, Professor Nityanand Pradhan, respected Registrar, Sri Ranjan Kumar Pradhan, respected Head of the Department and Organizing Secretary, Dr. Manoranjan Pradhan, respected lawn delegates, faculty members, invitees, research scholars, media personnel, ladies and gentlemen, and dear students. At the outset, I extend a warm welcome to all the resource persons, delegates, scholars, and others present here for attending this 2 days national seminar. I am very happy to say that the Department of Teacher Education is organizing this 2 days national seminar on a topic very exciting one, education of scheduled tribe children. Of course, this is the second national seminar and the first national seminar being conducted by the Department of Teacher Education in Vikram University after we got the status of the university. Friends, is a conceived one. As the data reveals that the ST population, particularly in Orissa, constituted about 23%, and out of the 30 districts, 7 districts are dominated by tribal persons, and out of that, your undivided Koraput district, namely Koraput, Raigada, Malkanagiri, and Nabarapur, they fall under this category. As we know, the rate of literacy or literacy rate of these tribal people is very, very low. When we are talking of the modern knowledge, the knowledge that is required for the communication, to see the outside world, all these things, that is lacking there. And here what I want to tell that in terms of the modern knowledge, the literacy rate is quite low. So here, I can say that immediate attention is required or necessary to launch a special literacy mission to educate the tribal people and more particularly the tribal children. The initiatives taken by the Department of Teacher Education by taking such a wonderful topic, education of scheduled tribe and tribe of children, education of scheduled tribe children. That is a very good topic. It is commendable. One thing I want to share with you that in the month of December, I remember the date is 11th December, the Governor Secretary called all the Vice Chancellors of all the universities, state, central, public sector, public, state, universities, private universities, central universities, every, and also the principals of lead colleges. For what purpose? To witness the address of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi regarding the Viksit Bharat at the rate 2047. So how to integrate all the sectors, how we can integrate so that they can contribute for the development of Bharat by 2047. When we are going to complete the century of our independence, by that time we want to see that our country should be a developed nation. And here also the Governor House requested us to give some suggestions that what could be done so that we can achieve the mission, that is to make the India a developed nation by 2047. Here, from our university side, we have given, I think, 5 to 6 important suggestions, and all are confined to tribal people. Because we know that the undivided Koraput district is highly dominated by tribal people. Their education, their health, sanitation, everything from every side, they are very, very low. So how to improve? We have given certain suggestions. खाली आमे अन्य मानकर विकास कथा कहि आमे चलले हबने आमे एई जो सेक्टर ता अछि ट्राइबल पीपल सेमानकर उन्नति जतबेले आमे करि परिबा सेमाने जतबेले मुख्य स्रोतरे आसी जिवे विकासर मुख्य स्रोतरे जतबेले आसी जिवे सेतबेले जानिबो जे भारत वर्ष विकसित हैला आ जेते दिन पर्यंत ए ट्राइबल पीपल हाउ डाउन ट्रोडन अंडर प्रिविलेज्ड section of the society, if they remain at the lower level of the pyramid, then we cannot expect the real Bharat Vikas, a Viksit Bharat. Friends, so here we have to develop or improve the socio-economic condition of the tribal people by educating them, and more particularly children, tribal children. So that is the need of the hour, and our efforts should be directed to achieve the same. I hope the 2 days deliberations in the national seminar will provide new thought-provoking ideas and views on the various sub-themes chosen in this seminar, and I hope it will be quite interesting, productive and fruitful. Once again, I extend a cordial welcome to all of you and hope you will enjoy the academic discussions with a lot of enthusiasm. Thank you. Jai Jagannath.
Thank you so much, sir. Now it is a happy moment that an edited book of our head of the department, Dr. Manoranjan Pradhan sir, will be released. So we request the guest of this session to release the book.
ସତ କହିବାକୁ ଗଲେ ମୋ ଖୁସିର ସୀମା ନାହିଁ। ଜୀବନର ପ୍ରଥମ ପୁସ୍ତକ, ପୁଣି ଯିଏ ମୋତେ ହାତ ଧରି ଚଲେଇଛନ୍ତି, ମୁଁ ଭାବୁକ ହେଇଯାଉଛି ସେ ଦୁଇ ଜଣ ମହାନୀୟ ଶିକ୍ଷକମାନଙ୍କ ଦ୍ୱାରା ଏବଂ ମୋର କୁଳପତି, କୁଳ ସଚିବ ଏବଂ ଚେୟାରପର୍ସନ ପିଜି କାଉନସିଲ ଏବଂ ଅନ୍ୟାନ୍ୟ ବିଶିଷ୍ଟ ବ୍ୟକ୍ତିଙ୍କ ଗହଣରେ ପୁସ୍ତକଟି ଲୋକାର୍ପିତ ହେଲା। ତ ଆଜି ମୋର ମୋର ପ୍ରଥମ ପ୍ରୟାସ। ଯଦିଚ ମୁଁ ଜଣେ ସ୍ତମ୍ଭଲେଖକ ଭାବରେ ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଖବରକାଗଜରେ ଲେଖୁଛି, ଇଂରାଜୀରେ ଲେଖୁଛି, କିନ୍ତୁ ପୁସ୍ତକ ଭାବରେ କୌଣସି ପ୍ରକାଶ ପାଇନଥିଲା। ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ତ ହୁଏତ 10-12 ପୁସ୍ତକ ଖଣ୍ଡ ପୁସ୍ତକ ହେଇପାରେ, କିନ୍ତୁ ମୋ ବିଷୟରେ particularly from my field, education field, this is the first attempt and it has been published as an edited book that is called National Education Policy 2020 and National Curriculum Frameworks 2023. And dear friends, this is the book consists of 3 sections. This book consists of 3 sections. The first section that is meant for your National Education Policy 2020 and section 2 National Curriculum Framework for School Education 2023 and next is your NCFITP 2023. 3टा section ଅଛି। 3ଟା section ରୁ 24ଟା ମାନେ ଅଛି कोन 24टा आर्टिकल्स अछि। बहुत सुंदर सुंदर आर्टिकल एक्रॉस द कंट्री, जम्मू काश्मीर आरंभ करके बेंगल पर्यंत, ओडिशा एपटे गुजरात रो हमर मध्य प्रदेश पर्यंत समस्त बहुत बड़ एक्सपर्ट लेखा दैछन्ती। तेणु मो धन्यवाद जणावी समस्त मंचासीन अतिथि मानक जे पुस्तक उन्मोचन करथिया जो धन्यवाद।
Sirs. Now like to request to everyone present here, along with all the respected dignitaries, to watch a documentary video of our department.
Ladies and gentlemen, our culture always speaks about the guests, and the guests are just like the Almighty God. So, on this occasion, it is a privilege to felicitate the guests on the dais. So now, I request on behalf of this Teacher Education Department to CPGC, the convener of the meeting, to felicitate the first VC of this university on this occasion. So please. Now, I would like to request our Vice Chancellor Sir to felicitate the keynote speaker of this seminar. So please. Please give a huge round of applause. Now I request our Vice Chancellor Sir to felicitate the registrar of this beautiful university. So please. Now, again, sir, I will request you to please felicitate the CPGC, sir, of our university. Once again, I request our Vice Chancellor, all beautiful 7 minutes, sir, please. Thank you so much, sir. Please have all of you, please have your respected seats. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to request to everyone present over here, along with all the respected dignitaries, to watch a documentary video of our beautiful department.
With that and building donated by the Hindu Jaipur, Rajarshi Vikram Verma. Sri P.M. Dwivedi joined the college as its first principal on 6 July 1947. The college began with only 49 students, 9 teachers and 20 boarders. As a tribute to the monumental contributions of Rajarshi Vikram Verma, the government of Odisha renamed the erstwhile Jaipur as Vikram Dev College in 1951.
Now, on behalf of this department, I cordially invite my teacher's teacher, Professor Nityananda Pradhan sir, to give his keynote speech. Please.
Please give a huge round of applause for him.
In absentia, esteemed Vice Chancellor, Officer on Special Duty of this University, Dr. Dept Mishra, Sri Ranjan Kumar Pradhan, Registrar, Dr. K.C. Jena, PG Council Chairperson, the head of the Department of Teacher Education, Dr. Manoranjan Pradhan, and esteemed guests, Professor Vikram Sarungi, Dr. Amulya Acharya, Dr. Devendra Kumar Sethi, Dr. Bharat Panda, Dr. Latika Mishra, Dr. Viran Pradhan, and all the esteemed delegates and dear students of this university. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Manoranjan Pradhan, who happens to be my student, and he invited me on behalf of this university to deliver keynote address. So in fact, if I accepted this invitation or dare to deliver a keynote address on a particular topic,
like this. It is because of my grooming in Quran. And one institution, some of the members are here, like Council of Analytical Tribal Studies. I worked with them for about 15 years, and also some non-government organizations with whom I worked, like CYST and others. So, these experiences, my experiences with them, ground level experiences, made me to speak about education of scheduled tribe children. And from the title, you can imagine I will be discussing from development perspective. Because when we talk of education as an instrument of development, then what are the development perspectives and different initiatives taken by government in this direction. And number two, I will be presenting my experience also, my experience, research experience. Time to time I will be giving examples of my research experience, not only in the district of Koraput, but also in the state of Tripura, Madhya Pradesh, Sikkim, Mizoram, Manipur, Assam. So, in these states I have done some ground level work with regard to education of scheduled tribe children. The contents of my presentation will be first, who are scheduled tribes in India. When we are talking of scheduled tribes, tribes and scheduled tribes, these two things are different. And we will be definitely discussing on Indian context. I will be telling briefly. And what are tribal areas? Again, it is also sometimes loosely used, and that is also true. Then what are scheduled areas in India, all Indian context? Then approaches to tribal development. Then tribal welfare programs in 5-year plan. I was going through the dimensions or sub-themes that have been outlined, and I picked some of the things. And their demographic profile very briefly, but in my paper that perhaps has been circulated, detailed things are there, but it is not possible to discuss everything in detail. So, there are measures regarding tribal development, education of scheduled tribe children, some issues and concerns, and enrollment and dropout. Particularly, you guys lost data for 2021-22, which is misleading. And many of us do not. And then mostly quality education issues associated with quality education, some internal issues that is within the system of education, and some external factors that are outside the system, maybe family, etc. And observations of National Education Policy 2020, and then I have my own suggestions based on my experiences. So let us start with who are scheduled tribes. So here, scheduled tribes, actually the term appeared in the first Constitution of India, and the term scheduled tribe is given in Article 366, which defines who are the scheduled tribes. Has to know. The tribes actually which are deemed under Article 342, Indian Constitution, in Article 342, the list of scheduled tribes are there. And one one important thing is scheduled tribes are state specific. That means the scheduled tribe, one scheduled tribe of Odisha cannot be regarded as a scheduled tribe of Madhya Pradesh or any state, and vice versa. But the scheduled tribe of Odisha will be treated as a scheduled tribe in Indian context. But there cannot be state exchange. So this is one. So normally the who will be scheduled tribes, because only we are all tribes. If you say this, we all are tribes, but only we are discussing about the scheduled tribes who have been identified and scheduled in the Constitution, Article 342. So this is one, and the list of scheduled tribes are modified time to time, and normally they can be modified through the Act of Parliament. You know, sometimes many communities now they demand that we want to be scheduled tribe for reservation or some other reasons. But so if government accept this, then the number of scheduled tribes is not constant. This is an ongoing process. Time to time, again scheduled in the Constitution, then the number of scheduled tribes increases. So this is one, the definition of scheduled tribes, particularly in the Indian context. And then who is the scheduled tribes? Actually, these are the characteristics. In order to include a particular community as a scheduled tribe under Article 342 of the Constitution, they must fulfill these 5 criteria. Actually, these are all informal criteria. Under these criteria are there in 1931 census. So in 1931 census, on the basis of these criteria, people were categorized as scheduled tribes. You see, they must have some primitive traits like you all know how tribes they have their food habit, dress habit, and communication, family relation, etc. Geographical isolation. They must be isolated from the mainstream. This is another criteria. 3. Distinctive culture. Culture means the way of life. Their way of life must be different from the mainstream population. 4. Size of contact with the community at large. That means they will not be interested to mix with other communities, larger community. This is one. And they must be economically backward. So simply economically backward is not the only criterion to become scheduled tribe. Therefore, sometimes different communities are demanding to be included in the constitution schedule, but they are not, because they must have to fulfill these criteria. And these criteria have been accepted and proposed by many commissions, many committees on scheduled tribes. That is there, these things are detailed in there in my paper. Then coming to, since I am discussing it in the context of in the development perspectives, there are 3 approaches to tribal development of tribal communities. One is the isolation approach, which was mostly propounded by different researchers working in the field of tribal education. First one is the isolation approach, which was propagated by Hutton and Vikram. Vikram is very prominent. He was a tribal education researcher in Northeast India, and he is an English researcher. So he said that he said that tribal development can be attained by treating them as a specimen in a national park. You know what is a national park? It is a restricted area, and the others should not enter into that area. So there should be like a national park, and no other outsiders will not be permitted to that area, and they will be completely isolated from the mainstream. That is the isolation approach. Second approach is called assimilation approach. Those who are propagators of this approach, they say that normally tribals or scheduled tribes or tribes are Hindus, backward Hindus. They consider them as backward Hindus. So they should continue along with Hindu community. That is called assimilation. That they should be assimilated with Hindu community. And the third approach, the more recent approach, which is the more popular approach and accepted by social reformers and non-government organizations, that is called the integration approach. Integration approach means the tribal people should also live with the mainstream society, mainstream, like with us now they are living. They should not be isolated, neither they should be assimilated to as backward Hindus. So that is called a respectful merger. They should be with respect. This is called an inclusive approach. Inclusive approach to tribal development, and this is the policy known as tribal concept. Tribal concept. Concept. That means 5 principles for tribal development. That is sometimes called Nehru. Okay. The tribal concept, sometimes it is called also Nehruvian tribal concept. So here in 1957, Nehru wrote that is called forward for Heather Elwin, the English researcher who developed a philosophy that is called Northeast Frontier Agency. Philosophy for Northeast Frontier Agency, because he has worked so much in northeastern tribal community, and he has also worked in Odisha. He worked in Odisha. Particularly, he has gone to first researcher who entered to Bondo Highland Bondo, and he has written a good book that is called Bondo Highlanders. That is a monograph that is available in courts. So he in his forwarding he wrote 5 principles of tribal development. Sometimes we call them as Nehruvian concept. So what are these concepts? You see, people should develop. That is based on the integration approach. And they say people should develop along the line of their own genius, and we should avoid imposing anything on them. It means that we should not impose anything for the development of tribal people or tribes. We should try to encourage in every way their traditional art and culture. Sometimes we say that they should use soap, they should be dressed like this, they should eat like this, they are very trivial, so many comments. But this first principle says we should, people should develop, that means tribal people should develop along the line of their own genius and own culture. In my previous speaker, he was telling that tribal knowledge of India and tribal knowledge, that is there in our national education policy. tribal knowledge, knowledge about medicine, knowledge about agriculture, knowledge about so many things. They should develop according to their own genius, own culture, and there should not be more external imposition. That should not be more in that is first principle. Second, tribal rights in land and forest should be respected. Forest rights, land rights. At some point of time, government says that these tribal people should be they should evacuate from the forest. They were living in forest, so they should they don't have the right to forest. But later, of course, it was revived. So tribal rights in land and forest should be respected. Number 3, we should try to train and build up a team of their own people for the work and administration and development. Some technical personnel from outside will no doubt be needed, especially in the beginning. That means in the beginning, some technical person from outside may be engaged for their development, but we should create a team of leaders, team of genius people from among the tribal community who will think of their development. That is the number 3. The number 4. This is very important also. So we should not over-administer these tribal areas. We should not over-administer these areas. Over-administer means for the sake of tribal development. I have heard one collector came at some part of undivided Koraput district. He provided them soap. He took them to the district headquarters and just taught them how to dress and other things like modern people. This is what is called over-administration. This is what is called over-administration. That means we are disrespecting their culture. So, how to dress, how to take food, what type of food you will take, how to greet others, these are all culture. These are restricted to a culture. So, we cannot say that some culture is better than another culture. So, there should not be over-administration. That is also said in this. Then, the last one is, we should judge the result not by statistics or the amount of money spent, but by quality of human character that is involved. Sometimes we say that tribal development happened because their per capita income increased, but that is called statistics. So the development should not be judged by statistics. Number of technology, then increase in per capita income or annual income. That should not be the criteria. These should not be the criteria to judge their development. Rather, the quality of human character, compassion, sacrifice, love for the nation. These are called human character. So development should be judged by the quality of human character. So these are the 5 principles, Nehruvian principle of the called tribal council, on the basis of which the tribal development should happen. So here, then coming to welfare programs in now 5-year plans are not happening. So what are different welfare programs you might have had different welfare programs. Like this, I have skipped a very important slide. I have skipped. Let me problem for you. Tribal, I have told you about the tribal areas. Tribal areas, I have not told. Tribal areas in India. Normally, what we say, generally we say, Koraput is a tribal area. But officially, Koraput is not tribal area. It is called a scheduled area. So this you must know. Koraput, Malkanagiri, Nabarangpur, or any district, Mayurbhanj. Actually, tribal areas are not there in India. Sorry, not there in Odisha. You see, tribal areas refer to areas having a larger number of tribal population. That is our perception. But really, the Constitution of India refers tribal areas added to the 6th schedule of the Constitution. And only tribal areas are there in these states: Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Other than these states, there are no tribal areas. Okay? So, and in these tribal areas, they have autonomous district councils. So, autonomous district council means they have to, they have their self-government, self-management. For example, I was there in Meghalaya. There is autonomous district council. So, there is the 6th scheduled area, that is autonomous district council, because that was a part of Assam. So, for even getting a gas connection, we have to go to the autonomous district council. You cannot get take gas connection even. Whatever, we are staying for getting a house in a particular area, you have to take the permission of a headman. That is called headman. And the election of a headman is just like assembly election. So that is called the autonomous district council. So they have their own power, judiciary power, executive power, legislative, executive and judiciary power they have. You cannot stay there. You cannot get a house rent without their permission. And I used to pay perhaps 150 rupees per month to the autonomous district council. For getting a gas connection, I have to apply it. So self-management, self-administration. That is what. So this is what is called tribal areas. So tribal areas, again I repeat, tribal areas are there only in 4 states of India, that is Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Then what about Koraput, Malkanagiri? Koraput, Malkanagiri? These are called scheduled areas. Scheduled areas. You see, then what are scheduled areas in India? Scheduled areas have been defined in the Indian Constitution so that areas that the President may by order declare to be scheduled areas. It is only the power of the President who will declare a particular area as a scheduled area. So, you see, tribal areas, they come under article, they come under 6th schedule of the Constitution, but the scheduled areas, they come under at 5th schedule of the Constitution, under article 244. So, in consultation with governor of the particular state, an area can be declared as a scheduled area. One area can be declared as scheduled area, and here tribes advisory council is there. In that area, in those areas, in tribal areas, that is autonomous district council. Autonomous district council fully independent, but in tribal areas, that is your tribes advisory council. They will advise for the development of the tribal people. So, in consultation with the state governor of the respective state, one area can be declared as scheduled area. So then coming to tribal development in different 5-year programs, we had many development programs, first, second and third. In these 3 plans, the target was economic development, education development, health and communication development. So these were the various focus. In first, second and third, there is no particular focus on education or agriculture or health or like that. Then in 4th 5-year plan, the target was agriculture development. And accordingly, you see, small farmer development agencies were created, marginal farmer and agricultural development agencies were created. So, 4th 5-year plan totally focused on development of agriculture in the tribal community. And the 5th 5-year plan, that is called tribal sub-plan approach, TSP. Your Koraput, Nabarangpur, Malkanagiri, and these all the undivided Koraput district, they are called TSP, tribal sub-plan areas. So tribal areas, tribal sub-plan areas. So here, in a particular area where more than 50% or more than 50% people they belong to tribal communities, that area is declared as TSP or tribal sub-plan area. That means within the plan there will be a separate plan for tribal development, sub-plan. But for in tribal areas, the total, for example, I had been to Mizoram for one meeting with the secretary and collecting what is your reservation policy. He said we don't have any reservation policy. Our 94% people are scheduled tribes. Then we don't have any reservation. We don't have any reservation. Like the reservation for ST, reservation for SC, all are non-reserved. So their development plan is totally for tribal people. For tribal people. But here, these 50% or more population, they call tribal sub-plan area. And you see, in that a population minimum within 10,000 and more 50% of tribal people, that area can be declared as a tribal sub-plan area. It may be a block, it may be a tahsil, it may be a subdivision, whatever. But the criteria is 10,000 population and total population 10,000 and 50% of the population can be ST population. So this is called the tribal sub-plan approach. This approach was adopted in 5-year plan, 5th 5-year plan. Then 6th 5-year plan targeted to poverty alleviation. Because looking at the backwardness of the community, scheduled tribe communities, so poverty alleviation was the focus of 6th plan. Then coming to demographic profile, the detail is there, but here I will be telling only that scheduled tribe population according to 2011 census, that is the latest census of the census, and now whatever figures that we use, these are projected figures. Projected figures I have not taken. I have taken only 2001 census population, that is the latest census, 10.42 crores, and their percentage is 8.6%. or 9% you can say. And ST population living in rural areas, most of the ST population live in rural areas, like about 91%, and the rest 9% in urban area. And there are 705 scheduled tribe communities in our country. In the meantime, the number might have increased. I have told you the addition of the number of scheduled tribe communities is an ongoing process. Addition is an ongoing process. If the president, in consultation with the respective state government, allows a particular community on the basis of 5 criteria, then that community can be added. So that figure may be figuring more. And there are also 75 communities. They are called sometimes vulnerable tribal groups, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, PVTs. We have some communities in India and also in Malkanagiri district, that is the Bondo community, Didai community, and also Santali community. In other parts of the state, Munda, these are, and also Dangriya Kandha in Ragala district. They are called perhaps the type of 16 particularly vulnerable tribal communities groups are there. So for their development, separate again agency has been also created. For Dangriya Kandha Development Agency, for Didai Development Agency, for Bondo Development Agency. These have been also created with focus on their development. So then coming to what are the measures taken by government? You know, there are in our Constitution of India there are different provisions for them. So many, these are a host of articles are there. Article 342, Article 164, Article 344, Article 275, Article 330, and that is there. These things are there in brief in my paper. I am not going to explain them. And you know, reservation in services, administration of scheduled and tribal areas. I say tribe advisory council in scheduled areas, and also in their in the tribal area there is also for self administration there is also a council. So welfare department in the states. In every state there is a department of. You don't think that in all the states there are scheduled tribe population. There are tribes but not scheduled tribe population. Not in all the states. The states where scheduled tribe population are more, there is a department called the welfare department, tribal welfare department, that is there also in our state. And there is also commissioner for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in our state also, that is there. Then educational facilities, as you know, there are so many programs, educational programs. Then economic opportunity, mostly that shifting cultivation or zoom cultivation. We have seen in our study shifting cultivation or kodu cultivation. For immediate benefit, they just born a particular area and they do something there, and then they shift it to some other place, and like that this is called kodu cultivation. And irrigation facilities. These things are there for their economic development. We have been to Didai Development Agency on a particular study. Here our Mr. Gopi Pradhan is there from courts. We had visited, and so many opportunities like fish net, like bullocks, like goats. These things are also given to them. So then coming to in this development perspective, what are the issues associated with the education of their children? So you see, elementary education has been mandatory, has been a priority in tribal subtribal areas particularly in this kind of class. Previously, we gave emphasis on economic development and other things, but education, particularly primary education, got a focus in this 5-year plan, that is 1974 to 79. And mostly, as a result of which, there has been a rapid change, particularly in 3 areas, that is access, pedagogy reform, and the community participation. Access means opening up schools for them. Access to education is what? They must have educational facility. That is what is called access. Then pedagogic reform, that means reforms in teaching learning process, that has been. And also in the community participation, more emphasis has been given on how, because without community participation, education, particularly at the elementary level, cannot happen. So, then you see, I am telling about enrollment. Our national education policy says there should be 100% enrollment. And you see the enrollment, our gross enrollment ratio at the primary level in India of scheduled tribe children is 106.5. How out of 100%, 106%? 106% because some overage students are also included, and when we calculate, that becomes GR becomes more. And as a upper primary level, also about 19%, and at secondary level 17%. You see, dropout is at primary level 1.5%, upper primary 3%, and secondary 12.6%. And you see, dropout is said to be a major concern. I have, along with Dr. Latika Mishra, we have conducted a study of dropouts. Perhaps that time dropout in 2011 or no, 2001, long back, dropout percentage was 59%. On the basis of our calculation. Our calculation was different. Our calculation was like, if 100 students take admission in 2000 in class 1, then they will be promoted to class 2 in 2002, then 2003, then 2004. So by the time they reach class 5, how many students remain? On the basis of that, we calculate dropout. And therefore dropout was high. But here, you will see dropout is only 1.5%. On 5th of this month, that means on Monday, I was at Patna for a presentation on out-of-school children in the state of Bihar, that was conducted by National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, New Delhi. So, I found that the percentage of dropout of Bihar is minus 2. How dropout can be minus 2? And you can see also dropout at the primary level of 11 states, according to this VDU data, is 0. At the upper primary level, 12 states, they have a dropout 0. Actually, they are not 0, they are minus. And this kind of dropout calculation is misleading, and data has been also confessed by the architect of this, what I would say, EMIS, then DICE, UDICE Plus, Professor Arun Mehta. He said, we should go back to the previous way of calculation that I told you. If 100% 100 students took admission in 2000, then by the time these 100 out of how many students they reach class 5? And you see, there is a gap between theory and practice. Do you think that our children in Koraput at primary level, they uh, uh, they all attend school. And again, this month only, I visited 2-3 schools perhaps of Madhya Pradesh. On one program, I had been to there, and we found there are so many children there out of school. They are very irregularly attending. Then how come it is -2 dropout? So their calculation is normally done as per UDICE plus data. They take the grade specific enrollment of 2 consecutive years. Suppose in 2020 the enrollment is 100, and in 2021 the enrollment is 102, then dropout is -2. So like this. So we should not go by this percentage of dropout calculated by. So you see, in Odisha, the dropout at secondary level is 27%. 27% or 37%, I don't know. 27, I have written somewhere. 27 or 37%. And Odisha, the highest dropout at secondary level in Odisha, in the state of Odisha. And the lowest is 0 in the state of Chandigarh. So, Odisha government made a press release that this, I don't accept this figure, and because it is a government of India just portal, UDICE plus, then they said, but the architect have agreed that we should not go by statistics. And many children are out of schools. So here, we agree. We agree that so far as access is concerned, we have reached nearly 100% access. Schooling facilities are available. And again, the creation of small schools has also created a problem. Because government wanted, as per education guarantee scheme, alternative and innovative education guarantee scheme, as per RT Act, so many schools come up. But there are no enrollment in those schools. In some schools, only you will find 10 students, 20 students, 30 students. I also conducted one study of small schools, problem of small schools, sponsored by NUPA, now NIPA. So I visited one school of Koraput district, small school, with 25 students, there are 7 teachers. There are 25 students, 25 or 28 but that between these two, and there are 7 teachers. So, and none of the students are, none of the class of the students are benefited. Teacher pupil ratio very low, but none of the class students are benefited. So that is, so these small schools, creation of small schools to provide access to all also has created a problem. So I'll be telling you my suggestion. Then coming to the quality of education is a major issue. So one study that we conducted, these are the of course common results that we found. Dr. Latika is here. We together conducted a study on behalf of CYSD, Center for Youth and Social Development. By that time she was an officer. Now she is deputy director, but by that time she was in CYSD. We conducted this. So these are some of the common factors contributing to dropout, and we found that the dropout rate is 59%. And I have experience when I was in class 1, there were about that time 15 students, I remember. But by the time I reached class 5, we only there two students. We 2 students were there, and I was first. I was proud of being first, and then my friend was second at class 5. So this is the situation. This is the reality. And you go to Pradeep Dr. Pradeep is here, pedagogy coordinator. I was discussing with him when I went to Bihar, Patna, presently. So you go to any railway station, you go to dhaba, you go anywhere, you will find so many students are, so many children are working. Chicken shop, dhaba, hotel, railway station. So how dropout became zero in 11 states at private level and 12 states at upper private level? So on the basis of that, I have some suggestion. I will be. So when coming to quality of education, sometimes we have just a presumption that tribal children, they do not have adequate cognitive ability. Their cognitive ability is lower than that of normal children, mainstream children, not normal but mainstream children. But it says that tribal children, what empirical evidence suggests that tribal children possess basic cognitive ability and psychological disposition. So, poor quality of education in tribal areas is not because, or their poor performance in education is not because that they are tribal children. It is what because there are so many factors responsible. An IAS person's son, he got IAS. It is not that he is intelligent, but there are so many factors that made him IAS, or made you IAS, or made you professor. So they have, as far as cognitive abilities are concerned, they are normally distributed. Resources are normally distributed. In urban area, there are also children having low cognitive ability. In tribal areas, they are also having high cognitive or low cognitive ability. So here they say achievement normally is attributed to two factors, internal factors and external factors. Quality is the main concern as regards to education of children is in tribal areas or scheduled areas. Internal factors and external factors. Internal factors. Let us come to internal factors. That factors that are within the system of education. Factors that are within the system of education. One is language of instruction. You must have heard about NEP 2020. NEP 2020. Para. So, language of instruction. In 2011, I conducted a study along with one UNICEF person, J.K. Patnaik. That was the UNICEF sponsored study. On 42, we surveyed 42 ashram schools. 42 ashram schools. And we also stayed in some ashram schools. Nighted in some ashram schools. So, here, that language related problem, they suggested that at the beginning tribal children, they failed to communicate or understand the Odia language, that the regional language of the state. But as they go to class 3, 4 and 5, that is one findings. And another finding was, when I made a presentation before the district administration, Koraput, and also UNICEF people, they disagreed with me. What did they disagree? Our finding was that tribal people, they don't want that their children should be taught in their own language. They should taught in their own language. When I presented this finding, Then some UNICEF people, they disagree. Then I said, I have met night halt with your district welfare officer. You ask your district welfare officer. District welfare officer was also with me. He was staying, he has stayed with me in, with us in fact, in some ashram schools to make the study a realistic one, because they wanted it. So, so this is an issue. People at the help of affairs, they think that tribal people will be very interested to study in their own language, but that is not the situation. You know, there is another community, Santali community. Santali community, that is the only tribal community in our state having their scripts. There is Santali script, Olchik. So, I was also for some time in DPP as a deputy director plan. That time, prior to that, Santali textbook was developed to implement in Santali, in that is Keonjhar district. So once the Santali people came and they threw stones to DPP office. What happened? Now we don't want these books. We don't want to, your children will be studying, suppose the language particularly. Language. When a child goes to a school, the teacher starts with teaching A, B, C, D or K, K, and the K, K has no meaning to the student. So you see, at home, the child learns actually language at home. For learning in language, home is the context. In the class, the teacher may say, when the child is hungry, the teacher may say, the child is full, having full belly, the teacher will say, you write a sentence using hungry. But the child is not hungry, so that is not the context. But at home, normally, the child says when he wants to play and other things, communicates. So by the time you see the child reaches class 1, he communicates in his mother tongue very fluently. There is no teacher, only parents are there. So language and learning, that happens in a context. So then what is the context? Context is our food habit, our dress habit, our manner, all these things are context. So then learning becomes meaningful. So here curriculum, sometimes we say curriculum should be culturally sensitive or culturally responsive. Our curriculum must be responsive to our culture. That means our examples and everything that should come from our culture. So I want to give one information. Many states now they have adopted NCERT text, either partly or fully. About 22 states, either partly or fully. Some northeastern states they have adopted fully, and some states like Madhya Pradesh and others, they take science textbook, science and mathematics and so on. So I had been to Gujarat for because when they adopt our textbook, actually they don't adopt, they adapt. Means they can make 20% change. They will print 20% change. 20%, what 20% change they will do? Because their context is different, their culture is different. In Meghalaya, they will give examples in social science from their context, from their culture. Freedom fighters from their locality, art and crafts from their locality, food habits from their locality. When we also sometimes made collaboration with South Korea, South Korean people wanted that our textbook items should be there in your textbook. So we studied that textbook. They have food like vehicles with that. Can you do that? So contextualize. So here you see NEP 2020. That also says all curriculum and pedagogy from the foundational stage onwards will be redesigned to strongly rooted in Indian local context and ethos in terms of culture, tradition, heritage, customs, language, philosophy, geography, ancient contemporary knowledge, societal and scientific needs, indigenous and traditional ways of learning. That means if you want to quality education or improve the quality of education, it should be culturally responsive. It should be culturally relevant. Their teaching learning style or teaching learning process, examples, content, they should be culturally relevant. They should be appropriate to their culture. So that is how we can improve the quality of education. Next, then teacher training. So teacher training, you see they say teachers from the same community. Teachers from the same community. Now our NEP recommends that in tribal areas, having knowledge of tribal language, the teacher from the same community should be appointed. So this is one. And also they say that each teacher will be expected to participate in 50 hours. That is applicable to all. Not only teachers but also headmasters. 50 hours of continuous professional development per teacher per hour, per each. And they say that pedagogy, now experiential learning pedagogy has come. Many of our friends, they know about constructivist pedagogy. Now constructivist pedagogy was a buzzword in 2005 curriculum. But in 2023 policy, it is said experiential learning. Experiential learning, that means reflective thinking must be there in learning. It should not be dominated by memorization. You see, under experiential learning, 4 pedagogical approaches: art integrated pedagogy, sports integrated pedagogy, storytelling based pedagogy, and the ICT pedagogy. So art integrated pedagogy means integration of art. When we are talking about integration of art, then in case of tribal areas, what do we do? Then tribal art should be there. We, when I was in Bhopal, RI, Principal RI Bhopal, then we conducted a mega experiment in one block. 630, some 30 odd teachers were oriented on art integrated pedagogy. And we took local art. And if you go to Madhya Pradesh, that block, that's called Ichhavar block in your district, you will find in all these schools, you will find the art made by the students. I could not believe when I visited the schools. I thought some artists have done, or the teachers have done. But I wanted that, I particularly asked who, can you tell me the name of the student who has done this? Then students, they say. So teaching through art. Tribal, in case of tribal art. Sports, local sports also are there. Tribal sports, tribal stories, like sometimes we call folklores, folk stories are there. In our area, story varies from place to place. Folklores varies from place to place. In this area, there are so many tribal folklores. Git Pudia, they go on continuously singing for 2-3 days. So you see the talent, and that should be used in our pedagogical practices to improve the quality of education. That's one. Next. So community participation, as you know, that is very important in every area and particularly in tribal area. So coming to incentives, you see incentives, incentive means what? Food, cycle and so many things, incentive dress, free textbook, these are incentives. This is again a debate. Some research says that there should, that these are there in my paper. Some researchers say that there should not be incentives. Some research says that incentives improve enrollment. Particularly, many studies have been conducted on effectiveness of midday meal on promotion of enrollment, school enrollment. And on the basis of some research, Maharashtra government sometimes they discontinued incentives. But what about our NDP 2020? NDP 2020 says incentives should be given. That cycle, bicycle, and other things that are there, that should be given in tribal areas. Then some external factors like access. Access, I have already told you that migration. Access is there, but there are seasonal migration. I have also experience of seasonal migration. Dr. Latika is also here. We visited one place of Hyderabad, outskirts of Hyderabad, to see what is the status of education or condition of education of children, those whose parents are migrated from Odisha to Hyderabad working in a brick factory. You will be astonished to see the condition of the school. Only few textbooks, Xerox textbooks you see. And that the teacher was absent, and the children are playing in the work area, work site. They are also helping their parents in work site. So this is the situation of EGS and AIC. For migrant parents, children of parents, those who go for seasonal migration, and in tribal areas it happens. They go for 3 months, 2 months, 5 months, sometimes with family, sometimes alone. When they go with the family, their children also visit. Because to avoid this lengthy of the paper, I didn't mention all the results or case study. I have also conducted some case study. I didn't give. Seasonal migration is an important issue that is what is called factors outside the system. Next comes your coming to RTR. What RTR says? RTR says that 2009 all schools should be enrolled. All children should be enrolled, and if they are overage, they should be admitted to class appropriate to their age. Suppose the child of aged 8, he has never gone to school, he will be admitted in class 3. He will be admitted to class 3. And he or she will be given special training so that he can compensate for the 3 years he has not attended the school. So that is the system to avoid this situation. Then coming to gender bias. You see, let us see the figure and reality. Again I am telling you guys data. You see the you guys data says you guys 1920. Of course the latest is 2021. I was telling you, but this data is from 1920. The dropout rate of ST boys was higher than that of their girl counterparts. With the dropout ST boys 3.90% and 3.45%. In my opinion, neither of the data is correct. Neither of the data is correct. can you just, if you see the reality, I had a case study of one tribal girl. Let me tell you in 2 minutes. Tribal girl, Janaki, that is in Padua area. I conducted a study, and I didn't have any answer. She dropped from class 3, and she was taking care of her younger sibling of 1.5 years old. Why did he left school? To take care. Her mother is a widow. She used to go to forest daily for some kind of work or agricultural field. Can mother take the child to forest? 1.5 years old child. So the Janaki was dropped in at class 3 to take care of the sibling so that her mother will go to the field. So this is one important experience, and that experience also I wrote, and that was also published in NCERT journal. So these are the things that gender bias. Why I gave this data? Because it says ST boys dropout ST boys was higher than the girls. What do we say? Dropout rate of girls is higher than boys, and that is practically that happens. We are all somewhere or other related to tribal areas. And tribal areas in not in exact official term, in scheduled areas I can say. But this is the situation. This is an issue. Next. Migration I have already told you, and these are some of the recommendations of the NEP 2020 which are applicable to special education zone. Special education zone means the areas inhabited by socially and economically disadvantaged sections, including the tribal community. So this is these are some of the there are so many recommendations. I am not going to read out all the recommendations. So you can just go through these. So many measures they have suggested, and for also higher education. Let us skip the file from the higher education. So for higher education, these are the suggestions. Steps to be taken by the government, and the steps to be taken by higher education institutions, whether university or college. So like suitable government funds for education of the children, then our gross enrollment ratio. Do you know what is our gross enrollment ratio in higher education? 30%. 30% GER, the higher education. But can you just imagine the gross enrollment GER in US, in Canada, in Sweden, in British England? US 82%, 82%, like that. So, and we have kept the target of 50% enrollment GER at a higher education. Our target is again very low. Then next slide. So these are all from NEP para 14.4.1. Then next one. These are the steps to be taken by the universities and colleges, like some admission process is inclusive, curriculum should be inclusive, bilingual textbooks, and design friendly classrooms and the infrastructure and so on. I am not going to read them. So, based on my experience, I have given 7 suggestions. Of course, some suggestions are already there. So, I was telling you about the data issue of unitized data, and the gap between reality and theory and reality. So, on the basis of that, I have suggested to conduct a fresh survey of out-of-school children, including non-enrolled and dropouts of ST community, to understand the ground clearly. And what happens in US, you guys plus 2 data, you must know. The schools, they feed the data. And the school teachers, they don't have laptop or something like that. They go to either market or they go to block office. They feed the data. And now it is automatically generated. And this is the result. This is the result. So, identification of out of school children, really how many children are out of school? Then factors responsible for non-enrollment and dropout. Then identification of learning needs, including need for vocational education. You see, we were analyzing one point in NCR. Why South Korea, with whom we are doing vocational education, our collaboration, why that country is so advanced? Both the countries, we got independence at the same time. South Korea and India. And now the GDP, gross domestic product of South Korea is per head 7 times higher than India. Why? You know LG, you know Samsung, you know Hyundai. So you find in every house either in the form of mobile phone, or in the form of smart TV, or in the form of a automobile, or even to washing machine, LG, and all that. That also happens in US, South Korean products. So it is because they are vocational education. I visited some vocational schools of South Korea before at Seoul. Before making agreement, as a team, one team visited South Korean vocational education school. They are just like, they are better than our IITs, vocational schools. And in 12-5 plan, our percentage of students, they have expertise in one or other vocation, one or more vocation was 5%. Do you know their percentage of students having vocational education, vocational skills? Their percentage is 95. Our percentage is 95%. Their percentage is 95%. So, and in vocational education, whatever 5% they don't have skill. We don't have skill. Very recently, there was a B.ed course, because I was for some time joint director of Central Institute of Vocational Education, NCR. So, you see, our students, they don't have skill. So, suppose when a particular firm will appoint a student, our certificate is there. But when they make a skill test, our students fail. But they are students, they are more skill based. So, when the identification of learning needs not only in mathematics science, learning needs including vocational learning needs. When the students are out of school, their age is 18 or age is 16. If you bring them to school, they will not see. They will not be interested in science, mathematics and all that. If you make some vocational program for them, they will be more interested. So, identification of learning needs including vocational education needs. So, this is one. Second, this is my last slide. Provision for opportunity cost. That opportunity cost, that idea also has been given now in the NEP 2020. But the opportunity cost, I was talking about Janki. So Janki's mother questioned me, if my daughter will not take care of the child, then who will take care? And if I will not go to forest, then how can I give food to my children? So that means she will come to school, attend school, then he will lose the opportunity. Opportunity, if a child is working in a chicken shop, he is getting 1,000. or shoe shine, shoe polish. So, if you say that you come to school, then you have to give 1,000 to the family. That is what is called opportunity cost. That is by attending school, she or he lost the opportunity of 1,000. That is the opportunity cost. That idea also for higher education, that is there, that is the recommendation of NEP 2020. I don't know how to what extent it will be applicable. So this is one. Then implementation of vocational education, pre-vocational education. We have prepared a pre-vocational education curriculum NCERT at Bhopal. That responsibility was given to RI Bhopal. So pre-vocational means class 6 to 8. So these will be exposed to different vocations are available. During our time, we were thinking of becoming a teacher or clerk or a forest guard or a driver. That was because we do not have such jobs. Nowadays, so many opportunities have come. Other than these IAS, engineers, OES, doctors, teachers, professors, so many opportunities have come. So during these 3 years, 6, 7, 8, that is called pre-vocational, they will be exposed to what are the vocational opportunities available, and by the time they reach class 9, because of vocational education for class 9, 10, 11, 12. So they will choose their own vocation. They will not go to ask the teachers that which vocation should I take, or which they will ask their parents. So this is what vocational education and a bachelor of vocational education in a higher education institute. That was stopped for some time. For example, I had been to one college that is somewhere near Qatar. So they had BVO course. University, Utkal University stopped BVO. This is not it. Vocational education is not motivated, people are not motivated. Then improving the quality of education, as I told you, quality of education not only happens in infrastructure. Provision of infrastructure is one, but the education should be engaging, activity-based, participatory, and joyful. Whatever infrastructure you give, the teacher may be knowledgeable. Therefore, we talked about storytelling-based pedagogy, art-integrated pedagogy, sports-based pedagogy. Because the children will be more active, they will be more engaged, and they will enjoy. So these are now, suppose sports was for physical exercise, physical fitness, physical well-being. But now sports is used as a pedagogy process. Like then fifth suggestion is increasing financial investment. Since Kothari Education Commission, the government says a Kothari Commission suggested 6% of GDP should be invested in education sector. But so far, more than 60 years, we have not reached 5%. We have not reached 5% of GDP. Now again, NEP 2020 says that the entire the recommendations of NEP should be implemented by 2030. Entire recommendations of NEP should be implemented by 2030, subject to 6% of GDP is allocated to education. Again, let us see what is happening. Because 1968 policy said 6%, 86 policy said 6%, now 2020 policy says 6%. Now let us see what happens in future. Then establishing the transitional centers. Transitional centers means those who are going to as a seasonal migration. This is the last one. Seasonal migration. Then here, suppose they take their children to school. do the work like Hyderabad example I was giving, Hyderabad example, like in brick factory. But if there will be transitional centers in that is called source station with the food facilities and all attractive curriculum, engaging curriculum, then children will not be attracted to go to work site. So that is what is called transitional education centers, which was thought of under SSA, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, EGS and AI centers, but that could not happen. That these centers were no better than non-formal education centers. Why EGS and AI came during DPEP? It came to rectify the deficiencies of non-formal education system. But the conditions remain the same. And creating seasonal hostels and residential schools for children of migratory parents, the same thing. So these are some of my suggestions. If you want to promote education in scheduled for the scheduled tribe children, whether it is tribal area or scheduled area. With this, I thank all of you for your patience hearing, and I also thank the University Authority, including Head of the Department of Teacher Education, Dr. Manoran Doran, for giving me this opportunity to just reflect some of my ideas. This is a real platform to reflect on my ideas and outcomes of research I have conducted. Thank you very much. That question answer, otherwise,
Sir, I want to have one question. I want to put that question is, sir, what about the tussle in between two sections of the tribal groups there in Manipur? What is the main motive of such type of tussle?
You see, that in Meitei and communities, that is going on because of some of the communities that have come and they are Tamil people. That is the question of some outside country people are there. That is actually tussle between in these two communities.
Sir, is there any tribal angle?
No, the actually tribal angle have entered because tribal people they want their rights. Meiteis are not exactly tribal. They are not tribal people. They are general. They are part of Hindu community. They are Hindu community. Meiteis. We have some colleagues also. They are at Navy Shillong. So. As a result of these people came and they got the status of scheduled tribes, so they were affected. People were affected. Because question of not after we are not tribal, they are tribal, that is not the problem. Meitei people they don't want that we should be declared as a scheduled tribe. They don't have such demand. They have demand that in our area these people have come and from outside the country and they have just been scheduled as scheduled tribes. Of course, not now, since long. Yeah. But now such situation is coming.
Sir, as Kukis are saying that they are the scheduled tribes of Manipur, but whenever such type of status was given to them, at that very moment it was to be considered that whether they are the very native one of this land or the migrated one.
No, actually, देखिए, when somebody migrates, now also in our state there are so many migrants from other nearby countries. But now, if you say you are foreigners, they must also agitate. We have already given them citizenship. We have given them the status of scheduled tribes. They have been scheduled in the constitution. Now, if you say that all your facilities are with them, that kind of situation has occurred there only, and they are big in number. You see, during Indira Gandhi time also, full of Bangladesh, they are in your Andaman. Andaman, Malkanagiri, also they are also in Meghalaya. Meghalaya. Now there are some communities in Meghalaya, even Khasi people, those are local, very strong, they are not able to face it. So now that
Sir, I have a question. Sir, ओडिया सर जमीक आम जाचु कि शेड्यूल 6 रे आमर एसटी पीपुल स्पेशल प्रोविजन अच्छी आसाम त्रिपुरा मणिपुर मेघालय तो आम आमर हाईएस्ट एसटी पॉपुलेशन है मध्य प्रदेश रे तो आहरी भी 7 सिस्टर अच्छी कौटे आमर नॉर्थ ईस्ट रे तो मान समस्त स्पेशल प्रोविजन हो चार्टा स्टेट कौन स्पेशल प्रोविजन है एसटी ऊपर
नहीं जो चार्टा कहली सपोज त्रिपुरा त्रिपुरा most of the people are Bengalis. In Tripura there is no tribal area. It doesn't come, there is no 6 scheduled area. 6 scheduled did not come under 6 scheduled. So Assam and as you say Madhya Pradesh has having the highest tribal population. You see the population of Madhya Pradesh. Population of Madhya Pradesh is the highest. In Meghalaya, what is the population? Meghalaya population is 50 lakh, like 50 lakh. What is our population? Our population is about 5 crore. And Meghalaya, Madhya Pradesh is nearly 10 crore. Nearly 10 crore. When there are 10 crore population, naturally there will be more tribal population. There are few districts purely dominated by tribal, but they don't come under tribal area.
सर को बेसिस रे तांको दले दे एसटी
नहीं खाली सेटिंग न हमर आपण माने जानछनी नै मु जानिनु वर्तमान आम साथी जो माने एसटी प्रोफेसर अछंती देयर इनकम टैक्स इज फ्री दे आर नॉट पेइंग इनकम टैक्स समते जानछ जानथि माने प्रोफेसर्स आर नॉट गिविंग इनकम टैक्स suppose I am giving 75,000 income tax per month and my colleague is free and every year they change their baby. That happens. They have come to a level, certain level, but still government has nothing to do. And in Sikkim, again, in Sikkim situation, those who are Sikkim, whether they are tribal people or not, they are income tax. For example, CRT director Sikkim, I asked, he is close to me. His wife is an engineer. She is from Sikkim original Sikkim people. She is income tax free. But this director is not free. Well, why? Now she has come from Darjeeling. And they have married local lady. So these are the things happening. Okay.
I have learned so many things and I am very much grateful for your presentation, sir. I have one doubt, sir. You said about statistics doesn't reflect the development. I do also agree. And you said about quality of human characters. This leads to development. So can you suggest any parameter that which will measure the quality of human characters or which can quantify the development in a country?
Right. So when we say statistics, what is your annual income? Okay, what is your annual income or how much education you have acquired? What is your qualification? These are statistics. Okay. By how many matriculates, how many graduates, how many postgraduates, how many doctors, what is your per capita income, these are statistics. But the human character is same for all. Like human character, your love for the country, your sacrifice, your contribution to national development, these are called human character. But most of the time we measure development in terms of these statistics. by qualification, educational qualification is there, engineers are there, but what they do? Sometimes also now the cyber crimes are done by whom? The cyber crimes are done by whom? They are not these illiterate people. They are done by very scientists that are like that. Highly educated people, they do cyber crime. ATM ରୁ ପଇସା କିଏ ନେଇପାରିବ? ଏ ସାଧାରଣ ଲୋକ ନେଇପାରିବେ? ATM ରୁ ପଇସା କିଏ ନେଉଛି? ତାହେଲେ human character, they lack human character. That is what is human character. Human character is what for me, for you, and for tribalism. So any last question as instructed by coordinator? No, really long discussion. No, actually, let me tell you, the purpose of keynote address is to open the key, so that it will provide food for the further sessions. I don't know to what extent I have been able to open the key, so that in other sessions also it will provide food for discussion in other sessions. But that is the purpose. Therefore, so anyway.
Thank you so much, sir, for the beautiful keynote speech. So my question is that each income of that economic criteria is the criteria for categorizing a community as ST.
No, I told about 5 criteria.
Yes, sir.
I told about five criteria.
But their economic condition is the criteria.
Their economic condition is better. And that is a political issue. I don't want to enter into that. I gave one example of income tax. That is a political issue, and I cannot.
Sir, that one I shall highlight it. Supreme Court recently has requested those who are well established and in the service and they are getting the advantage since long, and their children should not take. That's recently. It came. That what it has found.
But let us see whether it is happening or not. The Supreme Court has given, I am getting 80,000 income tax free. If it will be withdrawn, then let us see how I react. And like that, cookies and other things you are getting. Very small group of people they are doing that. Maybe again government is there. So thank you very much. Then you can take over.
Thank you, sir. We are so grateful for your time and effort in speaking at our event. So now I would like to request Sir Sri Lokesh Pradhan sir, Assistant Professor, Vikram University, Jaipur, to present the vote of thanks.
A warm and grateful good afternoon to one and all present here. Welcome to the National Seminar on Scheduled Tribe Children. I, Sri Lokesh Pradhan, Assistant Professor, Department of Teacher Education of this university, feel honored to extend the vote of thanks on behalf of this department. Today, in spite of constant efforts from the government, NGOs and other organizations, the educational level of the ST children are still behind or lag behind the normal trend. So when everyone fails, then the work of researchers starts. This requires research and development by the intellectual community for the educational upliftment of the scheduled tribe children. So this is the rationale behind the organization of this seminar. So in this inaugural session, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the chief patron of this national seminar, the officer on special duty, Vikram University, Professor Dept Mishra, for giving us this opportunity, providing constant guidance and also grace us with his presence. A big thank to the patron of this occasion and registrar of this institution, Sri Ranjan Kumar Pradhan, for always being with solid support system. Special mention to our distinguished guest, Professor Nityananda Pradhan, for delivering the keynote speech. Your research findings will put a milestone in the educational arena, sir. Thank you so much. My special and heartfelt thanks to Dr. K.C. Jana, Chairman PG Council, as the convener of this seminar, for entrusting us such a huge responsibility, and we completely get lost to your offices and taken off your time and resources. Thank you for putting up us. My special thanks to Dr. Manojan Pradhan, Head of the Department Teacher Education, as the Organizing Secretary, for your sincerity and guidance, and all your agencies, sir. We promise to deliver all the promises and assurance made to you. My sincere thanks to all the teachers, lecturers, professors, research scholars, and all the intellectuals who are going to present their seminar papers and be a part of this seminar. We have done our best for the organization and your convenience and your stay for the 2 days. A big thank to the 2 artists who have managed the stage for the inaugural session as the anchors, the singers of welcome song, the rapporteurs, and all the students, and last but not the least, my heartfelt thanks to all the students of this department, without whose enthusiasm and hard work, this seminar is a distant dream. We really thankful to you. Finally, a big thank to all the persons present here for your enthusiasm, and thank you so much for joining us. Thank you all once again on behalf of this department. Thank you all.
Now, just a break for 5 minutes only. After 5 minutes, we will start the technical session. Please, 5 minutes only.